Quality score, one of the biggest and most important factors inside a Google Ads account that determines the success of the account overall. This is one of the most important things inside the account that so many people just don't look at. Even in very professional accounts, I've seen people just not look at quality score whatsoever. They'll just focus on cost per conversion, which yes, is important. But when it comes to getting better results and optimizing the account, quality score is one of those main factors you have to look at, because if your quality score is terrible, you're going to be charged significantly more than if it was good. So this can determine how many conversions you're getting in a month, how many sales you're bringing in a month, how many clicks you can get. It is a massive factor in Google Ads. And in today's video, we're going to walk through the entire process of quality score, what it is, how to view it, and really how to improve it so you can get better results inside your account. So sit back, relax as we dive into quality score. Now, to first understand quality score, I'm going to go with Google's definition, which is quality score is a diagnostic tool meant to give you a sense of how well your ad quality compares to other advertisers. It's measured on a scale of 1 to 10. If it's at 1, Google doesn't like your ad. If it's at 10, Google really likes your ad. And one of the things that we'll see is that at a 5 in the quality score rating system, generally you're paying the normal cost per click. Anything above 5, Google is normally going to give you a discount on this, which is fantastic, which incentivizes you to make better ads, better landing pages, and more relevant ads. Anything below a 5 and you're going to get charged more. Now, overall, quality score is just Google's way of determining whether or not an ad is good or not. If it doesn't like the ad, it's going to give it a low quality score. If it likes the ad, it's going to give it above, generally a 5 out of 10, which just indicates that Google does like your ad and it is relevant to the end customer. Now, how is this rare statistic actually calculated that no one really knows where to check? It's calculated by 3 things. One is ad relevance, the second is landing page experience, and the third is click-through rate. I'm going to go through all of them so you have an understanding of what is actually going to determine whether or not your account is successful in the first place. The first one, expected click-through rate, that essentially is how often are people clicking on your ad and what is the likelihood that that click-through rate is going to stay right around the same. This is essentially a comparison between all the other ads. Are people clicking on your ad more than they're clicking on your competition's ad? This is why it's always important to keep updating your ads, because your competition will get better over time. And with a higher click-through rate, Google goes, hey, this is a good ad. People like clicking on it because it gets attention. Now, whether or not that ad is relevant has no real bearing on that. And that's where the second metric comes up, which is ad relevance. Is this ad and landing page relevant to the actual end customer? In marketing, we know this as a message match. If you're looking for pool installation, say you type in pool installation into Google search bar, and then an ad pops up looking for pool installation, you click on that, you're sent to a landing page of pool installation near you. They can come and install the next day, and then you can get a free quote. That is excellent message match, and it is relevant to the end customer, and you would likely have an above average rating in ad relevance. If someone types in pool installation, you click on a pool installation ad, and you're brought to a chlorine page, that's not going to be as relevant as the previous landing page, which Google is then going to figure out because a lot of people are going to be backing off of your actual landing page and not completing any forms. And Google knows this because it knows that you're not actually triggering any conversion actions. It's really good at figuring out how quickly the bounce rate is. There's a lot of metrics involved, but Google's pretty good at figuring out, hey, is this end result relevant to the person? And if it's not, it's going to start docking you on quality score. So it's very important to make sure that the ads line up with the actual keywords people are typing in. So your keywords match your ads and your ads match your landing page. And the next part of this and the final part is landing page experience. When people go to your website or landing page, like I recommend using, I always recommend using a software called Landingly. If you don't have any sort of landing page software, I'd highly recommend checking out a landing page software. Generally quadruples your leads just about overnight. So highly recommend using a landing page just because they convert at such a high rate. But landing page experience is super important. One of the most important factors in landing page experience is page load speed. If the page takes 20 seconds to load, most people are going to leave. That is something that Google looks at and goes, hey, this landing page sucks. We're not going to give this person a good quality score. We'll still take their money, of course, but we're going to charge them more and pretty much disincentivize people to actually use this product or service. And eventually the advertiser will probably run out of money. And that's essentially what they do. Other landing page experience things are, social proof, making sure it's clear call to action, making sure the headlines on the actual landing page match up with the ads that people are running and they match up with the keywords as well. And making sure that you're just following basic principles of landing page design. Easy, simple to understand, and gets to the point. People understand that, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for, and can get to a telephone to call you or submit a form submission or even purchase a product that you have online. Now, by the way, I did want to mention each one of these statistics is calculated not in a number, but in a average, below average, and above average setting. So it's not exactly sure on how well Google likes it. It could say above average, but is that like substantially above average, or is that like, it's okay and it's slightly above average? That's kind of hard to figure out, but you can kind of guesstimate on which one you need to adjust based off the below average, average, and above average. Normally you're going to see one that's lower than the other ones, and you got to work on it, and then that will help quality score later on. Now, when it comes to finding quality score in your actual campaign, this is very easy to do. All we're going to do is come over here to our account. We're going to come over here to audiences, keywords, and content. We're going to click on search keywords. And as you can see, this is a demo account, so we don't have any statistics, but we can come over here to columns, hit modify. If you don't have quality score already in here, you can follow along, type it in. They have historical quality score and current quality score. So this was the previous one in the account. Maybe it was better, maybe it was worse. I like having that as well. And then also the current quality score, which is going to be pretty much the most important. To make sure we are doing well. And then you scroll across here and you can see quality score here. Of course, demo counts, so there's no data in here, but this would rank on a 1 to 10 scale. Now, if you wanted to look at landing page experience, ad relevance, and expected click-through rate, very easy to do as well. Come over here to columns again, and then we're going to come here to the search bar. Of course, you can just click through all of them. I find it's a waste of time because I just find it way easier to do that. We'll add this. We'll add landing page experience. Cool. And again, historical view as well if you want to check what has been happening in the account. Maybe it's gone up, maybe it's gone down, but it gives you a good insight into what you should be doing. And then expected click-through rate, perfecto. And we can add all of that. And as you can see, again, no data in this account, so they are blank, but this will come up as below average, average, or above average. And that will give you a very good indicator of, hey, which one do I need to improve? And that's where we're going to go now. How do we improve quality score overall? And it's generally going to be by working on these individual components, which is pretty easy to do. When you look at expected click-through rate, generally, if that is average or below average, it means you need to improve the ad. This can be done easily by A/B testing your ads, making sure you have 3 out of 3 ads in every single ad group. Super, super easy stuff. I have an entire video on how to create ads. Generally, you're going to want 3 ads in every single ad group. And then you're going to see one essentially die out. You're going to pause it, and then you're going to add the winner in, double it out, change it up a bit, and then try and just increase that click-through rate as much as possible. The second one is ad relevance, which is going to be essentially the message match. We want to make sure that we don't have too many keywords in a given ad group. So say, let's look through here. Let's click on a campaign so I can give you a good example of this. When we look through these ad groups, we don't want to have 400 different keywords. The reason being, some of these keywords are going to be relevant and some are not. When we look at fiberglass pool installation, we'll click on the actual fiberglass pool installation ad group. You can see all of this is just fiberglass pool installation. Very relevant, right? But if I had pool installation, in-ground pool installation, backyard swimming pools, those keywords aren't as relevant. And in order to improve that, what we can do is create a new ad group, which is very easy to do. We just go to our campaigns, hit ad groups, and then hit the big blue plus icon or double out a pre-existing ad group so it saves you a little bit of time. Switch it so it's precisely targeted to those specific keywords, and then write ad copy that corresponds with those keywords. So say we wanted to do backyard swimming pools, we can create a new ad group titled backyard swimming pools, write an ad that says looking to install backyard swimming pools, and then create a landing page that says looking to install backyard swimming pools, which everything is lined up perfectly. And generally not super difficult to do, but most people are just not going to take the time to do this, which gives you a massive advantage if you are willing to take the time to do this. The final thing is landing page experience. And this is going to be a little bit more difficult because it requires a little bit of A/B testing as well. And sometimes more than others, depending on how well the actual landing page does at the beginning. But one of the first things I would recommend is looking at your landing page speed or website speed. This is super easy to do. All you're going to do is take your URL and come to a page on the internet called pagespeed.web.dev. I'll link that down below. It's very easy. And then you just paste your URL in here, hit analyze, and this will essentially say how good it is on mobile and desktop devices. If it's good. You'll see it's in green and it says, hey, everything looks fine. You're good to go. Normally 80 to 100, you're completely fine. Anything below that, you might want to consider checking out how the actual images are formatted on the landing pages. Maybe it's really big image files, so it takes a long time to download. As you can see here, SEO, best practices, accessibility, that's great. But performance, which is something that is super important, especially for landing page speeds, this is taking 2.2 seconds to load. And then the largest part of the actual landing page takes 8 seconds to load, which is really, really long. Like, that's not good and needs to be adjusted and should be improved. If we go to the desktop version, this is running a lot better. It runs a lot smoother. So clearly they optimized for the desktop. They didn't optimize for the mobile. And depending where your traffic's coming, if it's 90% mobile, you need to adjust that. You need to improve it and get better results. One of the easiest ways to do this, just using a landing page software that has good page speed, pretty much covers all your bases and auto optimizes all that stuff. So you don't really have to worry about it as much. You still do in the back of your head, but yeah, it's not as difficult. The other things you can do for landing page experience are making sure it is easy to navigate. Google actually does track a lot of this stuff and looks at time on page, the actual bounce rate, stuff like that, where it goes, hey, why are these people leaving the site so quickly? Clearly this stuff isn't relevant and the landing page may not be good, and it'll dock you points on there. So you want to make sure your headline is relevant. So you have a good headline, you have a good actual sub headline, and you have an easy call to action, which could be call now or get a quote now. And it's just a form to fill out. And then below you have social proof, maybe some features and benefits. You keep it simple. You don't overcomplicate anything. You want the landing page to be very easy for the person to use, as opposed to a super complicated website where people are like looking around. They're like, what do I do? And then they get stressed in what's called cognitive load, where people just have too much on their mind and they go, oh, this is a big pain, and they leave the website. That's not somewhere you want to be. So make the landing page super simple, super easy to use, and make sure it matches your ads and your keywords. You should be fine for a landing page experience. Later on, you can A/B test all of this stuff to see which headlines do better, which ones do worse, and then continue trying to build up and up and up. It's pretty easy to do, but it does take quite a bit of time. Now, once you've done all this, your quality score should be looking pretty good, and I would consider optimizing the account even further. One way you can do that is by downloading our free Google Ads optimization checklist. The link is down below. It walks you through on what to do on a weekly, monthly, and 3-month basis. It also lets you jot down your results so you can see you're making progress month over month. Pilots use checklists, and I'm not as smart as a pilot, but I tend to forget things, so I like having a checklist when optimizing this account so I can make sure I'm making progress and increasing that quality score so I can get more leads and more sales for our customers. Now, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding Google Ads, feel free to leave a comment down below. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Take care, and I wish you all well.